Hey guys, welcome back to Who's Here for the Instagram followers. This is Willow,
I'm Maritza.
and it's been a few weeks. Life got kind of crazy there for a hot second. Sorry.
Yeah, apologies in advance. Like usually we're doing a weekly kind of thing and then it turned to a month. So awkward. But yeah, we're
Catching up.
gonna go right into week 8 though.
Yes, this is Hometowns Week, and we just kind of jumped right on into it. Michelle had the first hometown date, and honestly, they did literally nothing of substance on their actual date. They just kind of repelled the building. That was it.
Yeah, no, they just like walked around and like they met the kids, which I mean, I thought it was pretty funny when they're like meeting the kids and the kids are having like the
Oh
harmony
wait, darn! I
questions.
missed that part. Yes, I missed to take a note on that part. The kids were the cutest part ever, actually. Why am
They
I?
I feel like they were the highlight of her hometown day. I'm not gonna lie, because
No,
I
yeah,
just like I think it was definitely the element that like Michelle's life kind of revolves around of. And so like if he felt comfortable in that element, then like that kind of was like a green light for Michelle.
yeah. Michelle,
Yeah.
it was just really good because it reminded me of Vanessa Grimaldi's hometown date back on Nick Vial's season. She was also a teacher to special education students, and she took him to her school, and I just really like that. And also the COVID aspect of them all being online. It kind of made me wonder, has Michelle still been teaching remotely while she's been filming this? Because
That's what I was
like
wondering
she
too.
could. She 100% could do it remotely. Like they don't do dates every day. They also do them at certain times. She could totally host like an hour or two Zoom sessions a day with these students while she's still here. So long as like crew allowed her to.
Exactly. I just feel like also that she had such a special connection to those students. I don't remember the little girl's name, but she told her that like Michelle basically inspired her to like keep
Yeah.
working harder and stuff. And like it was like a little note that she gave this little girl one morning and I was like that's so sweet.
Oh, I that part actually, I was wondering, do you think this is the same student class that Michelle was with in the spring semester of like 2020 before we went into COVID pandemic? Because how would she have given her a handwritten note if we were in remote school?
True. Yeah, you might be right. Like maybe she like taught like this like two like the one grade and then she taught the next grade kind of thing.
Maybe, or they were just rolled over, or maybe it was just like the students that they brought on. Maybe she wasn't teaching that semester, and so they brought on her old students from the previous semester because she was there. But I don't know. Yeah, I just love that. And obviously, with news that we now know, Michelle is just like so caring about her students, and she really puts her job first.
Exactly, exactly. Although the kids also like didn't shy away from the inappropriate questions of like, have you guys kissed yet? And then there's also like, are you guys gonna have babies? And are you guys like married or like questions like that. It was pretty iconic, but like what else do you expect from like what were they like 8-year-olds?
Yeah. They were I don't know what grade, but they were so cute and it was just adorable. And Matt was obviously just like giggly about it. But moving into the parent portion of the date, Matt was like really excited going in. And they just had such a great moment with the kids leading up to that I really think it set the tone.
Yeah, exactly. I personally thought Michelle's date was one of the best dates of the night of the
Of the
show,
hometowns,
the hometowns.
100% agree.
I personally loved her parents. Like they were just their dynamic was so sweet and caring. Like and like she always like boasts about how like the love her parents have, and that's how she like compares to like her previous loves as well. And
Yeah.
it's just like they asked really practical questions as well. So I really liked it.
It was an all around great hometown date. And her dad just like was great. Gave even more insight too into just Michelle's life and like what, situation she came from. It was just like, and he brought up the question that I also loved to Matt directly, like after all of this is gone, the spotlights and everything. you know, like what do you see happening, you know, with your life? And Matt even mentions that he's open to moving to Minnesota if that means what he has to do to be what he has to do to be with Michelle. There's a lot of M's in that sentence.
Exactly. And like I think that really set like the comfort for her parents, because I think that like they don't want her to be like changing her life for him kind of situation, because like she is so caring for her job and her career.
Yeah, and from the sounds of it too, it sounds like she has had previous past, you know, relationships that her parents have kind of had to help her through, that they don't want to have that repeat.
Exactly.
Also, Michelle's mom loved him.
Yeah. Yeah. They all also at the end of that hometown, they all playing basketball, little friendly competition. It was all just a sweet, like little ending of them basically working together and stuff.
Yeah, it was definitely polar opposite from the next date that we get into, which is Rachel's date. Um, let's just say her family was definitely not as receptive to Matt or the idea of Matt.
Yeah. Oh my God. I saw this meme. It was like also with like the allegations of Rachel and stuff. It was like comparing Rachel's hometown date to the movie Get Out.
Yes. Oh my God. I saw that. So good. So accurate.
It really is. So I was like, maybe that's why they don't like him. What?
Yeah. I mean, I will say this. Rachel did drive up in a totally badass Cruella DeVille vibe meets black, like Batman vibe car. And then she blindfolds Matt and drives him to a runway where she boards a plane to go skydiving with him. And he basically doesn't really realize. And it's just like, that is insane to like, anyway, that's crazy to me. Crazy.
I gotta quickly cut to the little boy that's literally in charge of Rachel. Like they had this little, what is he, 16?
Dude, I was literally just gonna bring that up. I was like, also, who the fuck was in charge of Rachel? And like, who are these people? Like this random Nima calling guy, like the farmer guy. Apparently, someone looked up his LinkedIn. Remember the farm guy from the date, the Nima Colon, like estate guy?
God, you're right.
Someone looked at his LinkedIn and he's literally just a random Nima Colon like employee. And apparently he was like on another date later in the season, like wearing some other outfit, claiming to be something else.
Bro, oh my God. They probably say the same thing to these kids. Oh my God.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Who the fuck are these skydiving people?
No, I saw this little boy, and then like already knowing like the preview and like how like Rachel like smacks to the ground. Like I just saw the preview and I'm like, then I see this little boy and I'm like, okay, it makes sense now. It makes sense.
Yeah, no, dude, he was just too distracted by how hot she was to open the parachute.
Yes.
He's like, man, I've never had a hot girl like press this close up against me. And then he was like, oh shit, the ground.
He's really like, I've never touched a girl before. This is my first time.
Yeah, so long story short, Rachel smacks the ground hard.
Literally, her body went kaboom.
They had to do it was so bad that they had to do a cut scene where they had to reset her hair and makeup, reset the scene, and take the guy who crashed with her like somewhere else, probably a hospital.
I literally was about to say that too. I was like, but tell me why, like when she was there, her hair was literally a bird's nest, and then we cut to Matt talking to her, and then her hair is perfectly combed all of a sudden.
Bro, they had to reshoot it. It was so bad.
I was like, oh no, this poor girl. It's funny though, because when Matt landed, he was like, oh my God, that was pretty great. And then he just sees her smack to the ground and he was like, huh, Rachel. Oh my God.
Rachel. And then he constantly brings it up for the rest of the season, literally. Like when you see someone you love or like you think you love almost die, you know, you realize what you would have lost.
Exactly. I'm like, okay. And then her saying, I literally fall for you.
Yeah. So from there, after all of the crashing and the falling and the 12,000 feet and 120 miles per hour, we go into, I believe it was just straight into the evening portion of the date where Rachel walks in and basically summarizes it to them and is like, yeah, I have bruises all over my face. And she tells that to her mom, which is like insane.
Yeah, she was like, this makeup is really working out for me right now. You can't see it.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, honey. Anyways, and then the parents. Do you want to get into that?
You should get into it.
Let's just say that her dad was very quick to jumping to saying he does not approve. And he was very quick to holding negative judgment, I felt like, towards Matt, just because of the process, mostly.
Also, Rachel was really hoping for Matt to ask for her dad's blessing. But the thing was, like, even if he did, he probably would have said no, not gonna lie, with how, like, basically against he was of Matt and their situation, because, like, he's dating, like, other women, like, it's not traditional and stuff.
Right. And I mean, that's always a big issue for a lot of dads on the show. Like, how can you really love my daughter when you're also dating 30 other women at first? And like, even currently when he's meeting them, you know, there's still Bree, Michelle, and Serena all there. And it's like, that doesn't look great to the parents. But at the same time, you're on TV, just act like you're happy with it.
Exactly. Like, I think just put on a face and like, at the end of the day, like, if it lasts, it lasts. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, it's just a TV show.
Yeah, literally. It's just, you know, it's just a TV show. And obviously things are like, things came out too following the filming that like about things that her parents have posted on Facebook and said to their family, said publicly, that are racist and whatever. And it's like him being so anti Matt James on the show really doesn't make it look any better when those comments followed. I'm just going to say that. I don't think we need to say much more about the hometown date, but that's the gist.
Yeah, I think you put it in the perfect picture.
Yeah. So then we go into Bree's hometown date, which was filled with off-roading Jeep fun.
Bro, I didn't write anything for Breeze. I was like, why am I missing one hometown? I didn't write anything for Breeze. So they did off-roading though.
Yes, they went off-roading and they talk about Matt's upbringing. He reveals that he's been working since he was 12, which is like incredible to me. You know, he's a participating member of society, that's for sure. But that's also sometimes an upbringing that you need to be forced into if you say your family's lower income, you know, shows a bit to his character. And then they basically go on a picnic and they just kind of talk more about everything, which is funny to me because Bree is not a very outdoorsy girl, which we come to find out in the fantasy suit state. And this is another outdoorsy thing that she's doing.
Exactly. I was even going to say, like, for the fantasy suits too, like, for all of the dates, they put the least outdoorsy person to do the outdoor stuff. Like,
every time.
Literally, like, they have Miss Rachel out here who lives in the South, probably does a lot more of the outdoor stuff and whatever. And they have her get like doing like Louis Vuitton fashion shows and like little like parachute and driving in like sports cars, like. And then there's Brie.
I think it's because they want to expose them to things that are different for them, so they're gonna get a more like real reaction. Anyways, if you're ever gonna go on the show, lie about your interests and then you'll get the dates you actually want. Logic.
The more you know. Oh my god, I'm gonna put that in my application now.
Yeah, and then the rest of Bree's date turns into a Canada Fest, which was embarrassing as hell to me.
Wait, pause. Canada Fest? That's Serena's date, girly.
Was that Serena? Oh.
I was like,
Let's rewind a
Brie
little
just
bit.
turned Canadian.
For a sec, I was just like, yeah, Brie is totally Canadian. Like, I mean, you know, like the cheese is French and like French Canadian, Brie. That was my logic for a sec.
She's like, you're like San Francisco. Yeah, it's in Canada now.
Yeah. Okay, so back to Brie's date. Sorry. Brie's mom is really just being protective of her daughter because she doesn't want her to get her heart broken. And that's the gist. That was pretty much it.
Basically, there's a crying baby there, but you know.
There's that.
Matt was so scared of the crying baby. He's like, I just saw his eyes like bulge. They were like he didn't know what to do when like Brie couldn't calm the baby down.
Yeah. And also her mom looked amazing and definitely watches the show. Just got to say that. She just straight up is like asking all the questions. Are you in love with her? To Matt, like just everything. She watches it.
Period. Yeah.
Now we get into the embarrassing Canada Fest with Serena's date.
Oh no. Oh no.
Dude, I feel bad for Canadians. Like I feel like this would be offensive. Although I don't know.
I feel like Matt was just kind of like didn't want to do any of it low key. Like he just seemed so uninterested most of the day. And unless they would get to the food part, he got a little more like cracked up into it. But like literally
I was partially like, uninterested because he was getting the vibes from Serena that she too was uninterested in him.
Yeah.
Maybe. Just saying. It's a thought. Because we've been saying, like, it does seem like she has, like, a little bit of the ick leading up to this. And obviously everything that happens.
Exactly. No, yeah. There's always, like, that vibe that Matt was always, like, more interested in her than she was of him. I mean, she's gorgeous, lovely, but yeah.
100%.
This date did seem like, did it seem more of, like, it seemed too playful, I want to say. Like kind of like a brother and I don't want to say brother and sister, but like
I get it, like cousin vibes.
Yeah, like you know, like what's the capital of Canada? Oh wow. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Like
yeah, literally, it was just kind of one thing after the other. Let's try poutine. Let's do this. Here's a hamburger. Here's spam. Whatever. I don't know. It was just like random things. And basically though. Meanwhile, Matt's still saying Serena is someone he could see himself spending the rest of his life with, so he wants to make a good impression on the parents. This is just something he said for the cameras, so he could get some screen time, I think.
I agree. I feel like he knew it from the beginning too, but yeah. I mean, after their little hockey playing moment, we go straight to the parents. And I think that was a really eye-opening situation for Serena, for sure, talking to her sister, talking to her mom.
I feel like it really put Serena, she's been feeling kind of off throughout this whole process. And then seeing her parents again, she was like, oh, fuck, this is not me. I'm not ready for this. This is way too fast. Like my family is right. They know me way better. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I got in way too over my head. I think that's the vibe from Serena.
No, for sure. I think it was definitely an intense talk that she realized that she wasn't in love with Matt. I think she was in love more of the idea of Matt than
she was in love with the idea of being in love with Matt.
Exactly. And just it really shows like, and especially I think it was frustrating for Matt because this was so late in the process.
Yes, it was, and it should have happened sooner since we did see it coming, but sis wanted to collect the Instagram followers.
Honestly, yeah, I see it. Honestly, I see it.
And her mom sees through it right away too. Parent perspective, their parents are like, this is way too fast. This is crazy. We know what your energy is like when you're in a relationship that you're happy with. And that's not this. This ain't it, sis, basically, is what they're saying. And she's just like, yep, you're right. And then she leaves filled with doubt and fear.
Exactly. And like she talks to Matt like after their family encounters. I don't think we even saw Matt talk to the family at all.
I don't let me go back through my notes real quick. Sorry, I got close to the screen. I don't have my glasses on because they like reflect back and I realized it was blinding. Um,
Yeah, but like they go outside and they're talking, but like Matt sees like feels the doubt in her voice between
Yeah,
them. Like it
yeah,
just didn't, like something was off from her, which
yeah.
then
We don't
yeah.
see them, Matt talk to them, by the way. They just basically tell Matt good luck.
And like, good luck, you're not end up with her, girl. Oh my
Good
god.
luck. Yeah.
But after that, the next day, I think this is the day of the rose ceremony, that he goes up to see Serena at her hotel room. And
Yeah.
that's when he basically like, hey, exposed, like kind of like question like what's going on and stuff. Like how are you feeling about all of this? Like I just like have like that feeling of like you're doubting everything we had or something like that.
Yeah. And it was really interesting their talk that they had because Serena was just straight up. She said, I think when it comes down to the fact that I don't see you as my person. And it really seemed to hurt him. And he was silent on screen for a solid 20, 30, maybe 40 seconds. Like dead ass silent, just staring. He was like shook. And I was like, was he actually that into her?
I think he was. I think he was genuinely blindsided and he was just really oblivious to all the signs.
Mm-hmm.
And that he really was like really into her.
But he didn't seem into the Canada date.
No, yeah. He didn't seem into the candidate. I feel like he was just there to see her ass at some point. But I mean, we cut to the there's a part in the Woman Tell All where he like basically just stared at her ass and he was like, yeah, I can't get up out of this hot tub.
Oh my God, that's right. Dude, I think he was most sexually attracted to Serena because I'm just realizing now, okay, obviously producers pick the dates, but why the fuck would Serena get the yoga date? Like that tantric, sexual, like sensual yoga? Dude, he was most attracted to Serena, I feel like sexually. Maybe like Rachel had more of that like, oh, cutesy girl next door vibe that he was really attracted to, but I think physically Serena was it for him.
I think if Serena hadn't said anything, I feel like she definitely would have been in the fantasy suites.
Oh, 100% Bree would it was Bree that would have gone home and Serena would have replaced Bree. You could totally tell by the time fantasy suites rolled around that it was not meant for Bree.
No, it wasn't. Even from her starting at her date, it just played out perfectly. That, I mean, we kind of spoiled that part, but yeah,
yeah, sorry. Anyways, it was basically like the end of the whole Serena breakup. He walks her out and he is just broken and he's just like basically damn. And he says he's lost a lot of his confidence. And so going into the I think we had the rose ceremony in this episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So going into the rose ceremony, he was just kind of like really bummed. And then all the girls were like, hold up, where's Serena?
Yeah. And they all end up getting the rose, right? Obviously, she went home, but Bree ends up getting the rose last, which kind of segues into like the fantasy suite of her feeling a little uneasy of why she got the rose last.
Although she also gets the middle fantasy suite, which is like the last one you want. You want the first or the last. You don't want the middle fantasy suite.
Exactly.
I feel so bad for Bree. And so from here, do we want to I mean, that's the end of the episode. That was the summary.
Yeah.
Do we want to?
I think we should start talking about the Woman Tell All, which was next episode.
Yes. And Chris hosted it, which I don't know why I wasn't expecting. Like, I thought that for whatever reason he was replaced on that one also, in addition to After the Final Rose. He's not. He was hosting it. And honestly, in terms of the Women Tell All, I felt like, or do you want to share your thoughts first?
I felt like it was just a lot of the he said, she said, this and that. Them still trying to defend what they said. Like it was just like we all saw it. I don't know why you're still trying to defend yourself. Like no
Yeah.
one wanted to own up to things. Everyone was just screaming at Katie.
Yeah.
Matt ends
No
up
one
with a
wanted to
beard.
admit. I'm like, did we all watch the same fucking show? Because I know you guys all watched it back. Did we all watch the same shit? Because like we all saw this. We all side with Katie, honestly. Like she has been like the most relatable and like amazing queen on this season. And like without her, it would have been a freaking disaster. Way worse. What the heck?
Honestly though, because literally she was one of the only ones that ever spoke up. If only because I think she was the only one that spoke up about these things.
She's
And
mature.
there's other girls like defending one like I know that there was I forgot her name, but she was like Puerto Rican or something like that. But she was defending MJ, saying like, yeah,
Ryan?
I was no, it wasn't her.
I know who you're talking about. It was the other pageant girl.
Yeah. And she was like defending MJ because she was like, I roomed with her. I know. And she's like, not gonna be like that. And I'm like,
The last thing
then,
should be is fake, I think she says.
yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, but like she might not be that around you, but it doesn't mean that she's not like that or like at all.
Yeah.
Like just because they're nice with you doesn't mean that they're not nice to everyone. Like
yeah.
just
And the other aspects of it too is like, okay, I felt like a bunch of interesting hot seats. We've started out talking to just like opening with Kayla for whatever reason, even though she wasn't a very big part of the season. Also, Mari was a big part of the Women Tell All, even though she also wasn't a big part of the season. Which I think these are all like, what was that?
Mari was the one that roomed with MJ.
And yes, Mari. MJ. She was defending the process, and she said the last thing you can say about MJ is that she's fake. And that's when MJ, just getting into that part, I guess, that's when MJ speaks up and she goes, oh, like she has a strong personality. And it was, again, just more like he said, she said. And then Chris is just like, well, you know, some women created a volatile situation. And then that's when like Ryan was speaking up. And this was just a lot of, like we said before, he said, she said, back and forth, crazy nonsense.
Exactly. Then we got like between like Jasenia. I think they started off with the feud between Jasenia and like MJ and their 2-on-1, that whole thing. And like then they moved on to Ryan's whole thing about being called a hoe for being a dancer. And she was like, that's not like good for the dancer community. And like Victoria was just like, well, you know, I get hate too, but like I'm just not sensitive like you. And I'm like,
yeah, she said, no, she genuinely said, like, do you think that you are too sensitive? And that's your problem. Because, like, I get bullied on the internet for my bra strap showing. And so I just said, basically, fuck you, and posted more photos of my bra strap showing. And it's like, that's not the point, Victoria.
Like, being called a hoe in national television.
And this was, by the way, Ryan mentioned this. She got called a hoe and a slore by Victoria.
Exactly. And like the fact that she was called this in national television where everyone sees, not Victoria's hate comments in her comment section that only like a few people in the population see because no one follows Victoria. Like,
yeah, national television. It's going to be up there forever. Everyone in Ryan's life has been seen her called a hoe, a slore, and a shady bitch on TV. And she's not. Like, it's just not great, you know? And it was just ridiculous. And I feel like that kind of could lead us into the hot seat with Brittany. Yeah. Where Brittany was given a moment to kind of address like everything going on because, we did skip over it. We're going hella out of order. Sorry, guys. The Women Tell All was just like a lot.
It was a lot. We did kind of like glance over Katie being basically attacked the whole time. She was just like, everyone was just kind of yelling at her, like defending everyone else's honor. And I was like, why are y'all attacking her when she was basically like not accepting this toxic energy. Like they were like, Katie said, I remember during the season that Katie said she didn't want to make like her time with Matt like about other drama, but she said that it got so toxic in the house that like she felt like she had to, because like
Yes.
it was just getting worse and worse.
I mean, Chelsea literally starts attacking Katie, I believe, over just like the fact that she changed her mind on defending Sarah. I'm like, what? It's called growth. Are you incapable of it? Like, sorry, I really dug you at first, but what the fuck?
I was about to say the same thing. I feel like we were really rooting for Chelsea at the beginning of this, even before this aired. And
Yeah.
like when she started defending the toxic energy because she didn't see it, like it just, it really bummed me out.
Yeah, it rubbed me the wrong way. And, Chelsea was saying all that, and Katie just says, like, this is karma. Like, I don't think that death threats are appropriate. I don't think body shaming is appropriate or acceptable in any way. But she also says, you did what you did on the show. You made those decisions to do what you did. We are all adults. We are all aware of our words and actions, and we all understand that actions have consequences. You chose to say what you did. You chose to act the way you did. And sorry you got bullied, but that's your karma. And I kind of love that moment, honestly. I was like, it's fair. Yeah, Victoria, yeah, you did choose to be a bitch. But Victoria still does not see herself as a bitch. But like, it's fair,
I like the part where she said it was their karma, and the girls didn't like that she chose the word karma, especially Chelsea did not like that. And I'm like, at this point, why are you mad?
Why are we fighting about nuances?
Exactly. When basically it's true because you paved that path for yourself. Like, you're like, I don't know, man. Like,
I am with you. It was crazy. And then the women get heated. And that's when Chris interrupts everybody. And that's when he brings up Brittany to personally talk about her drama on the show because, it was a big deal. And how I have feelings. How do you feel following what we find out from Brittany about everything and with Anna and all that?
I mean, the whole Anna Brittany situation, like it was me really confused because I was really siding with Brittany, and then like a part of me was kind of siding with Anna. I was like, what if Anna was actually telling the truth? But then also like I was like, but also you don't expose that in national television. Like it was, and then like Anna's apology through all this was just like,
we find out that Anna has not reached out to Brittany following the premiere of the show or premiere of this information. Not once, not even in a DM to like leading up to, I know this is coming out tonight, saying like, I'm so sorry about what happened. Can we make amends? Nothing. It's been radio silence. Continue what you were saying.
No, I was actually going to start saying that, how like literally like she had all this time, even the day the episode aired, she had all this time. She even said they live in this small knit community that Chicago is super small. She had the chance and she basically blew it and just said, oh, I'm just gonna apologize to national television just so everyone can see that I'm not a bitch, basically.
Yeah, she said what she did was horrible, and obviously watching the aftermath of it has been horrible. And she's like, she acknowledges it's been a lot worse for Brittany, and she literally just says, I'm sorry, this all sucks. And it's like, that's not good enough. Sorry, go back to the drawing board. You need a better apology. Like, seriously, that was not good enough. After all the pain that's brought Brittany, like her grandma watched this, like her whole family watched this. All of her search results on Google for however, probably forever, is gonna be about this.
Like crazy. It's absolutely disgusting. And the fact that Brittany was saying how she couldn't even leave her house or like basically ghosted all her friends and stuff the first week, or I don't know if she says first week or 2 weeks that she was back because she just felt so embarrassed.
Traumatized. Yeah. She left. She went on late, let alone like considering everything too. So she just sat there quarantining for God knows how long. I think 3 weeks extra. And then just like got sent home after what, like 3 days?
I
And
think
now has a huge scandal.
I think Brittany was
It
there
was like
for
one
2
whole rose
weeks.
ceremony. So 2 weeks. Okay. Sorry, I thought that the weeks were taking place in like days for a sec, because I don't know why, but I got my mind in Survivor headspace where every 3 days is a tribal council.
Oh no. But I see it. I see this is like The Bachelor honestly is Survivor just with love involved.
Yes. Oh my God. Survivor, love and fire. I want a Survivor Bachelor season. Crossover. Jeff Probst is the least unproblematic host ever. He could replace Chris Harrison.
Literally, Michelle would just like, with her strength, literally would dominate everyone.
Yes. Meanwhile, Matt will be the guy like, not like what, drowning in the mud as he tries to do the challenge.
I already see it, man. I see it.
Yeah.
But anyways, was there anything else that you got up out of Brittany's thing?
The last thing that I really got was just Anna saying that her lashing out came from a place of her own insecurities. And she also says that she got that information from old friends of Brittany's, as well as an ex-boyfriend of hers, which Brittany was like shocked that that happened. She said that. And it's like, Brittany has one ex-boyfriend. We already know that. She said that on the show. And it's the guy she's been with since she was 16. So Anna saying that literally reveals exactly who she got her information from to a T. And how like deceiving to Brittany. She looked shocked and betrayed by her ex-boyfriend. And they chose to edit it into the show. They didn't have to include that.
Exactly. I'm just like, the fact that Anna would even trust these sources, like old friends, people that she doesn't even talk to anymore. Right. And then ex-boyfriends who they might be in good, maybe in bad grounds. Obviously now after the show aired, they're probably not in good grounds at all. Yeah. Like, it's just, it kind of shows like whose side you should be on in this.
100%. It's just, oh gosh. Yeah. Crazy. And what was the rest? Oh, just to summarize in my final opinion of this all, Brittany has been fucked over from editing from this show twice now. Okay, just because like they chose to edit all of this scandal in. They could have chose to leave it out. They chose to put it in. They chose to give her those Google results because they knew articles would be written and it was more drama. They also chose to leave in the conversation of what Anna said about the ex-boyfriend source and just like old friends. And it's just like, I feel so bad for Brittany. They have like ruined her life. But that's the show. It's reality TV.
I mean, yeah, honestly, at the end of the day, that's the show. I kind of just think about Dylan Barber's like exposing the show kind of, and how literally like everyone leads like mental illness kind of, and like basically lives ruined and they don't do shit about it.
Yeah, they do not give a fuck because they're just making their coin, you know?
Exactly. More views.
Yeah. And then we get a hot seat with Katie where she is just the most mature self and she's amazing and really setting herself up for Bachelorette.
Honestly, yeah. Which I mean, yeah. Even when she left and she got eliminated, like the whole like scene was set for her to be the next Bachelorette.
Literally, I felt like it was practically scripted. Chris Harrison even asks her, like, do you know what you truly want deep down? And she's just like, oh, yeah, I am the prime version of who I am right now. I'm the most confident I've ever been. I'm just missing my person. I need that last piece of the puzzle to complete me. That right there is the sentence that said, I am Bachelorette next. And I already know. Even though she denies that she knew, she knew.
She knew. Yeah.
The contract was signed.
Exactly.
She knew.
So who was the hot seat?
The final hot seat was Abigail. There's not much to say. It was good. She just talks about how she felt like they had natural chemistry and like she was bummed.
Yeah, but they did like celebrate like her triumph for the deaf community kind of. And she
Yes.
kind of did explain like the different types of like deaf people, which I actually didn't know about. So I feel like that was very educational and very well spoken. And
Yeah.
she did wish like she had like more time and stuff, but like I feel like producers kind of set her up for failure as well. So they
I
set her
wish
up.
she had gotten more time edited in because I know she probably had a lot of significant moments. They just didn't show it. They preferred to show all of the Sarah drama, who literally was only there for like the first week or whatever. That was it. And she got like the most screen time out of everybody, I think.
No, she did. I think I saw this like stat or whatever that like shows screen time. I think she got more screen time than majority of like even probably like the top 3 girls. Like
Crazy. It's been practically confirmed too that what's it called? I just lost the train of my thought like right in the middle of it. I swear I'm sober, guys. I feel like I need to clarify
I
that.
do have to say that I was kind of surprised that Sarah wasn't in the Woman Tell All. Like I feel like I thought she would get like a hot seat, kind of like saying like, "Hey, do you regret what you did?" But then also probably all the girls would expose her that like, "Hey, she's kind of fake. Like she only came here for Instagram followers. Like her dad
Yeah.
might still be sick, but like still like she was out here partying with this DJ. Like
Yeah, they should have at least brought it up as a topic of conversation, even if she wasn't there, in my opinion. Like, she had so much editing. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. It was confirmed that they did have a new person editing the show this season, as well as the person making the promos, which is why there were so many spoilers throughout the entire show in the end of the episode trailers and in the promo like trailers for the next week's episode. Also why it was edited so funky with giving way too many like hours of screen time to insignificant players.
yeah, that would make sense. Probably his first and last time editing for the show.
Yeah, probably. I hope so, because we didn't get to know any of the women. And it reflects actually in the number of Instagram followers that the characters from this season are having. They are like way lower statistically in proportion to most seasons. And I really think it stems from the fact that we don't know the women.
Exactly. Yeah. All I see is pretty faces, but not personality for a lot of these.
Yeah. Anyways, that was here for the Instagram followers.
Are we not going to talk about Serena P?
Is there one? I didn't write anything down. Was she in this?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'm like, wrap it up.
Okay, Haley, before you wrap up, I just want to say that Serena P felt like the other girls like would have been more 100% with Matt than she would be, but like Matt still feels hurt seeing her at the Women's Tell All. So I just saw like the connection to the two, and I saw like he still like stared at her like he was still in love with her. So I was just like, but like they finally talk about how uncomfortable it is to kiss Matt with his eyes open, and then they roll like the bloopers, and like also they roll all like this.
I know what happened, Maritza. I didn't finish the episode.
Oh my god.
No, I'm sitting here. I'm like, wait, I was watching this a few weeks ago, and then like the next episode came out, and I just didn't want to watch it because I got bored.
Okay, but I do have to say the last part was pretty boring and insignificant, other than Serena part. But like, yeah, they also aired a bunch of other like dates that they never aired.
Yeah.
And like there was a date with Tasha that was there with the JoJo, I think too. And like that wasn't aired. And then touched like discussing bugs, and
I saw the bloopers. Ew, with the bug date. It seemed like all of the dates that might have had way too much like drama or anything in them were the ones that got canceled or like not shown. It's been a great episode.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks guys for listening to our wrap
podcast here for the Instagram followers. It's been a few weeks, so we're rusty.
Yes, a little rusty out here, but we'll see you soon for the next episode following for the finale and the fantasy suites and what happens next. So
Yeah, fantasy suites finale after the final rose. There's lots to talk about.
a lot more with Races Rachel, obviously. So this has been Here for the Instagram followers. I'm Maritza.
And I'm Willow.
Bye.